how's it going? Let's do some yoga. Yoga is good. I haven't been doing it as much on video. I've been vlogging loads. So, okay, so bring your palms to your heart and just take a couple of nice big breaths here. Just let everything soften around the edges of your body and calm your mind just by focusing on the breath and checking in. What's going on? Okay, so let's interlock the fingers, put them behind the head, and just stretch behind your head, neck, and back. Use some resistance by pressing into the hands. Interlock the hands behind you and take a couple nice big breaths here. So the breath naturally will expand the chest on the inhale, and on the exhale I'm sort of imagining somebody's pulling my hands away from my back so I can get a nice stretch in the shoulders and in the arms, and squeeze into the shoulder blades, and then release that. Bring the hands in front of you. Breathe into the back body, and as you exhale, pull the heart away from your hands. So you're really scooping under here. You can always move around a little bit to see how it feels. Stretch out in front. And then let's stretch to the side. Nice big breath here, all the way down the side. So you're just enlivening certain parts of your body as you move around. So, you know, breathe once you start to feel the stretch come up, just breathe into it. You don't need to kind of force yourself into poses. I've had to learn that. And I still probably have a tendency to do it. Like, I have to do this pose. And, yeah, it's not really necessary to take care. I find the more I back off, the more I just chill out, the better my body feels, and actually the better it moves, the stronger it is. Okay, and then let's come into downward dog. You can hang out there for a few breaths. Maybe get your hair out of the way. If you have monster hair like me, which grows everywhere. So yeah, come into your downward dog. It's like the best pose for morning time, because I just feel like everything starts waking up in downward dog. So just get those hands down. Doesn't matter if the heels are off the ground, but have a feeling of lengthening them down. And then, so I call this move heel pulsing, where you're just moving from one heel to the other by bending the opposite knee. It's a great stretch for the back of the legs. So just by breathing here, you're always feeling into these opposing forces in your own body. So if I feel like if I'm breathing in and reaching up through the base of my body, so my bum and the lower back, inhale, and I reach that up. And then on the exhale, I'm really just sort of softening where possible and feeling the downward force. And then from here, I'm gonna walk my hands back slowly into my forward bend. Nice to reach up there and let everything go. I'm gonna bend my right knee and lengthen my left arm up for a breath. Relax, switch sides. So bending your left knee, reach your right arm up. Big breath. Good. I'm going to do a half lift. Just look up. And exhale, roll all the way up. Keep following through. Inhale. Still here. Inhale. Reach the arms up. And exhale. Interlock them. And then I'm going to hang out here. Take a few breaths. So I'm thinking about how there is no tricks to yoga. You know, sometimes this pose, you know, a lot of people might be up there with their arms, and people say like, "Oh my God, how are your arms so far away?" And you know, you want to bear in mind, myself and probably a lot of like yoga guides that you see in the world have been stretching and maybe have a background in dance or some kind of like physical stuff. So like I've been stretching pretty much every day since I was like 12 or 13. So yeah, if you stretch every day, you get flexible. Simple as that. Okay, so from there, I'm just going to walk my hands out into a plank pose. So I really like to keep my sort of pelvis lifted here. So I'm not necessarily straight down, a little bit lifted, and my shoulders are sort of stacked. So my shoulders are drawing up away from the wrists, and I'm pressing into my heels. Just a few nice big breaths here. It's fun. It's a great way to warm up. And then I'm gonna swivel to the side and reach the arm up. I'm gonna take my top leg, pop it behind, and just a big breath here. So it's like a big full body stretch. And then release back into plank. And then I'm gonna try that side plank on the other side. So I find the side plank. Once I'm stable, I pop my left foot or that top foot ground behind me, and then lift the hips and the pelvis up. A nice big stretch here. Everything's sort of breathing, stimulating, expanding, and then slowly release. And then I'm gonna float myself down. So I've moved to the tippy toes, lose it down, inhale up. Easy breathing. Exhale. Just a little sit back into child's pose. So sometimes I feel like I want to release my back after back bending, and that was one of them. And then move back into downward dog. So a couple breaths. I'm going to take a breath and inhale the right leg up. So nice big breath here. And then exhale, I'm going to draw the right knee to the right shoulder. And then I'm going to inhale back up. And then I'm going to exhale to the other elbow or shoulder. And then I'm going to inhale back up. And I'm going to open the hip and my knee. And I'm going to exhale, draw it out to the side. Imagine somebody's pulling it. And then inhale, reach it back. And then exhale. Stretch it out. Inhale, pull it back, and then exhale, stretch it out. Good. Inhale, go all the way back, and then exhale, step it forward. I'm going to put my back heel down, lift the body up, come into warrior one. Inhale, and then exhale, interlock the fingers. Inhale, expand, exhale, fall forward, couple breaths. So my feet, again, opposing forces. The feet are relaxed but yielding. So I'm definitely aware of feeling my feet on the ground. You can bend into that knee. You can lengthen into my back leg. Breathe and relax into my arms, my head. Inhale, coming back up. And then exhale, release. So I'm going to take the back heel off the mat and come into a twist here. Couple nice big breaths, reaches it out. Can be nice to do like a big circle with that arm. Yeah. And then just let that back knee fall down, let the right knee fall open. And I do a couple sways side to side, so I feel into the right hip. and I drop and feel into the left hip flexor, I can reach back and feel that stretch there. Good. And then I'm just gonna lift the hips up, wiggle my hips about, and feel the hamstrings on the right here, so to just kind of feel around there, breathe into it. Good, and then step back into your down dog. Reach the left leg up, inhale. Exhale, draw the knee to your left shoulder. Inhale, reach it up. And then exhale over to the right elbow or shoulder a little bit. Inhale, go up. And then drop it back. So I'm really opening that hip. It's a big stretch. And then exhale, draws it out to the side. Again, move with it. Inhale up. And then exhale out to the side. Inhale up. And then exhale out to the side. Inhale, go back up. And exhale, steps it through. Okay, so I'm going to put my back heel down, move through warrior one. Warrior one, hips are squared, okay? So both hips face the front. I can inhale up, and then exhale, interlock the fingers. Inhale, expand my chest. Exhale, reach on forward. Relax there for a few breaths. Again, there's a sense of lightness and strength in the center of my body, a downward grounding force through the legs and the feet, and then a flow, an easy flow through the upper body. Okay, I'm gonna release that. I felt like I wanted to come up and then come back down. Take my back heel off the mat for a twist. So just again, energy down the back leg, drop the right hand, and then reach that left arm up. Couple big breaths here. And again, I can literally like go really easy into the pose and then just let the breath kind of move into it. Again, we can try some circles. Big stretchy circles. And then just let that knee fall down. Now these sequences sort of evolve naturally for me, so I always like to say to people, like, yoga is your own thing, it's your own practice. We can go to classes and learn from one another, grow with one another, support one another, but it's an experience. It's a direct experience with your own body. So it sensitizes you. It helps you become more aware of like energy patterns that you're holding and tension. Okay, so I always move around. So this one's my left hip. Fall into it, breathe into it. And I can also try the hip flexor stretch. So just a couple breaths to sink there. So I love Strala method. It makes the most sense to me out of all the styles I've practiced. So if you want to find out more about Strala, S-T-R-A-L-A, go look it up. It's amazing. Tara Stiles is like the main person, and Mike Taylor. They're really awesome people. And they're really creating a beautiful movement around the yoga. Okay, so I've lifted my hips up. I'm feeling into those left hamstrings. I can always like dinga-dinga-dinga-dinga-dinga wiggle around. And then step back into downward dog. So it's Sunday morning here and just done that little flow. And actually, I feel pretty good from that. And then, so I'm always working in the moment and intuitively. Right now I just feel my back and my neck. So that's like my body telling me I want to do shoulder stand. So after moving and getting some strength, some flow, some energy around my hips, my legs, and my torso, definitely wanting to stretch out my shoulders and back. So lift up into shoulder stand, hold it here for a few breaths. And I'll always do the full sequence. So from here I'll do plow pose and then air pressure pose. So some nice big breathing here. Just feel into my hips, feeling nice and stable here. So a nice stretch there. And I'm trying to feel like, okay, maybe just bend my both knees in and cross them over. Happy baby, I can feel that pull in the lower back, kind of guiding me there. Okay, and now I'm feeling my face. So I feel like that is maybe a sign of wanting to do a headstand practice. So if you're not used to doing headstand, try just coming onto your head and keeping your knees there, using the hands or interlocking them. You can come against a wall, and I more recently have a guide, friend, teacher who's like, you know, take your time and, you know, instead of rushing to get ahead and do all these poses, literally just like, that's great, that one I just showed you. So keep your knees down, head down. You'll get used to the feeling on the head. Or go ahead and look up lots of different, I'm not going to break it down for you today, so feel free to look up like headstand, handstand guide, and find the one that resonates most with you and practice. You know, it's just every day, whenever. There's loads of yummy, delicious benefits from going upside down. So something that most of us want to practice, like, you know, every day. So I'll take my time walking my feet in and wanting to kind of float the feet up. So that should be a pretty easy transition. Bearing in mind, if you feel like you have to kick up in your headstand, we're probably rushing it a little bit. So I'm just going to hang out here. I might try some stuff with my legs. And whenever come upside down, I'm really feeling like Zen, you know, like focus on the breath. Breathing easy, feeling light, feeling lifted. I'm going to get right around there. I like to practice drawing my rib cage in. I'm a bit of a flarer, so I have a tendency to kind of, or how can I do it? So like I release the back and my rib cage flares out. So I'm practicing now, and it makes it kind of harder because you're reprogramming your movement when you become more aware. There's always like deeper steps that you can take. So draw the rib cage in. So the rib cage drawing in makes me more aware of my core muscles anyway, so it's a good thing. I'm going to just try to lower my feet down together, controlled at the same time. Oh, that felt great. So I'm just gonna chill out in child's pose for a few breaths. Let all that tension soften and relax. Okay, so now I'm coming to my lower back. That's what's calling me. I'm gonna bring the soles of my feet out in front of me, pretty far, and just kind of lengthen from there. I can activate, so I could gently draw myself down. Sometimes I don't feel the need. Today it feels kind of nice to do that. So lengthening out. And relaxing forward. I'm going to try straightening my legs, doing the same thing. And so I'm literally like, in all these poses, I'll make like little gentle movements within myself. Like here I forward fold and I can feel this, like I want to draw the hip back and resist and lengthen through the body. So I'm constantly, you know, doing these little adjustments that it's just an exploration, you know? So I'm always moving into that. And again, feeling my neck, so just want to stretch that out again. Oh yeah. And now I can feel my hips, so it's definitely time for a fancy hip opener. So this one's pretty intense. Knee to ankle. And you know, this comes up always when I do sessions with more than one person, and people look around, like some of us might be up here like, bah, you know, really feeling it, and then we look around and see someone like way flatter than me just kind of flopping, and of course that like brings stuff up. So I'm finding like so much lately noticing that critical comparative mind and reining it in. It really doesn't serve us. Like, it's not valuable to look at someone else and feel bad about yourself. And then I watched this Teal Swan vlog. So obviously I'm talking to you, but I'm in the position, so I'm like, I'm still feeling it, but it's a nice little distraction to talk while we're holding these nice poses. And so I could gently lean into it. I have this, I'm working with like knee stuff, so I always like to keep the feet nice and flexed to make sure I'm protecting the knee and maintaining the integrity of the knee joint. Yeah, so I watched this Teal Swan video, and it was about like the victim mentality, but on the flip side, the victor mentality. And you know, I can definitely recognize that in this like well-being world of like, not as much as we know, like we don't want to play the victim. We don't want to always be hard done by, like, oh, so-and-so did this to me, and oh, blah, 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 like I can't do this because of whatever. And so a lot of us will recognize, okay, that's not really a positive place to be. And this video was about how the flip side is really the exact same, but on the flip. And that's really what this idea of an ego is all about, is that it's a detached, so it's a belief that we're all separate, or that I am my identity, and in order to get ahead, I have to be better than, I have to be superior. And even again with the world of spirituality and this new wave, it's like, or not new, I don't know, this wave, it's like false light. It's like, I'm all is well all the time, everything feels fantastic, I'm super happy and blissed out all the time. And instead of just being real about, like, you know, today maybe I feel a bit wobbly, or maybe I'm feeling anger, and just the other day I had I have this pattern with my relationship with my partner that I'm working through, as far as feeling resentful when I have to do stuff. Like, why haven't you done that? But I know I'm working through conscious, like, sort of raising consciousness and unconditional love and acceptance. So not expecting anything from anyone ultimately, except for if it's a negative thing, like looking within myself, like why have I seen that and created that? But also being able to be honest. And I was having that wobble, and I was able to sit down with him and just say, you know what, right now I'm feeling resentful. And I expressed that, that's how I feel right now. I feel resentful and bitter and kind of like jealous of you. Like, everything's fine and everything's great. But then expressing, like, and I know that's not real. Like, I know I'm creating this situation from a false perception, and I don't want to put that on you, and it's not your fault, but that's how I feel right now. And that was like a moment of honoring what's within me. That was real in that moment. And the fact is, that's okay. And then it passes, and then I'm blessed because I'm on this journey. And okay, so I'm going to switch my legs now. I'm on this journey, and I've got plenty of amazing people around me and teachers around me and all that kind of stuff. And so what happened was I was able to express that. That was the truth for me in that moment. And then afterwards, I'm doing a healing course called Soul Sovereignty. And with my friends and the teacher and stuff that was there, she just explained to me about like the levels of love, and maybe being still at level. So there's 7 levels of love, and being at level 5 where you're still putting like expectation on the other. So you still, basically, there's still conditions around your capacity to love another. And I'd like to live from number 7, if I'm honest. I want to be in a place where I can unconditionally love everything and everyone around me all the time, no matter what. Unconditional love, right? And own my power fully, like own my power to create, to be who I feel myself to be, and to be integral to how I'm feeling in any moment, to be totally and unconditional. And I think that's the reality, right? Is that I'm still working on stuff within myself. And I'm having a realization right now, is I still need to work on unconditionally loving myself, right? That's like where I'm going to get that good vibes. That's where I'm going to get that empowerment of feeling complete and whole, no matter what, whether I'm feeling maybe a bit bitter. But I ultimately think the more I practice unconditional love within myself, the more my life will reflect that, and the more I'll invite conditions and situations that reflect that and are that, because I am that. And so the world that I create in my own, like in my own vortex, in my own reality, that world that I'm creating is that of unconditional love and unlimited unlimited abundance. The things that, as I shift, the things that I believe to be true, that we're unlimited, that we're complete empowered creators, that we're responsible for our own creations, and that we can create anything we want, So what do you want to create? Do you want to create more resentment, or do you want to create love? I totally want to create love, man. Love. And I think the world would appreciate that as well. I think the mother, I think the earth would totally appreciate more love as well. So, not that, again, that doesn't need to be a condition, but loving yourself. And I started this journey a few years back, and it just keeps getting more and more profound and more deeper realizations of where I might not be loving myself and how can I love it more. Woo! I'm just gonna lean into this and feel that real good stretch there. And there you go. So you can lie down for a moment. Let's just lie down for a sec. Just hug my knees in here. we're good. You can stay lying down. But I gotta go because I have a session today. And I'm going to be uploading three videos today. I video recorded a really good friend of mine, Sophie Sutton. So I'm going to upload a video of her playing one of her new songs for me. And I'm going to upload another vlog that I did the other day. And I'm going to upload this lovely yoga video for you. So I hope you've enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. All in peace, peace, peace.
All to love. All to love.